I tried, folks. Tuesday morning, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and most non-humble hosts would be like, start the show over. Start it over. Not this guy, because I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he's mad that the game was on Peacock last night. Dale Hillistrace here, everybody.
Peacock?
Hey.
Are you talking to me about Peacock? I ain't buying Peacock for two Suns games a year.
It is annoying. Hey, keep
Gee.
talking while I take a drink here.
I actually literally went through my channel guide probably 5 times. And Brooke's like, what are you looking for? I said, the Suns are playing. I want to watch Devin Booker fail for a third straight game.
Dale's back on his Devin Booker
Yeah, trade
bandwagon.
him.
The second night of a back-to-back, no Mark Williams. You know,
Yeah.
They look sluggish to start the game, emotional, playing their teams again.
No emotional. Yeah. Kevin Durant won there.
I agree with you because, like I said, at 7 o'clock, I started surfing the channels myself. And I even went to the NBA app, which is where I watch the Suns games at, and I cast it on the television. And nothing. And I'm like, what the heck? So I look it up, and it goes 7:30, and I'm like, 7:30? That's weird.
That's a weird time.
And then, like, at 7:45, I got wrapped up into some stuff. And at 7:45, I went, oh, Suns game's on. And I couldn't find it. Same thing. I'm like, where's it at? And I was like, get a text. Hey, what's your Peacock login? And I went, oh, is this the game that's on Peacock? Oh. So I had to go through all that and everything. And then they were down by a bunch. Now, I watched it till about halftime. Then I switched to the U of A game. And then I switched to the ASU game. And then I fell asleep. And then I woke up to watch the end of the second half of the ASU game. What a great winner there by them.
Yeah.
Against Sean Miller in Texas. About midnight-ish our time.
Why do ASU people still hate Sean Miller?
I don't know either because I would have rather him stayed at U of A for the rest of his life with the lifetime contract. Right? I think it's more just Sean Miller's attitude and stuff like that. That always just
Because
rubbed
he
me the wrong
sweats,
way.
Steve? Is
No,
that
it's his attitude. He thought he was better than he is. That's why I'm going to be interested in seeing how he handles the Texas. Because if you struggle with the U of A people, oh lordy, you got Matthew McConaughey to deal with at Texas.
Does Matthew even care about
I
basketball?
don't think I don't ever see him at the basketball
No,
games.
I don't. I don't think he cares much about basketball.
So I watched that as well. It's like, holy cow, what a night here of sports happening around. And then, of course, Monday Night Football.
That was a boring game.
I know, it was so boring. It was so dumb. Somebody was tweeting about it, and I was like, who's still watching this?
Well, actually, Michael Irvin tweeted,
I don't follow him.
and I responded to his tweet.
Oh, maybe that's what I saw then.
He says the worse to get punched in the blank or spit on.
That was at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because all they showed you on the broadcast was the teams fighting, and you're like, what do they do now? And then you see the replay, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
To me, spitting on's way worse.
Oh, that's what I said. I said whether it's a definite punch to the groinal region or something that happened on accident, that happens. The spitting is a 100% fight.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm such a germaphobe that I don't care. If you accidentally spit at me right now, it would shut me down for the rest of the day. I'd be in the shower just soaping myself and everything. Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Isn't that amazing that Jamar Chase was like, I didn't do it. He gets caught doing it, and now he's like, oh, I'm sorry I did it.
In this day and age, you're going to get caught doing anything.
I thought it was hard to see it. I mean, he masqueraded it pretty well. I thought it was hard to find it, right? Braxton chimed in. Don't forget, text us, 623-252-6670 at TME Sports Show on X as well. Braxton says here about Wilcox here as well. He says, Wilcox definitely gets more rain. We're talking about that game there on Saturday night and how I thought Wilcox was built better for the elements, right?
Right.
He says it's about 15 degrees cooler than SCA Daily and way colder this time of year. They get less rain than they used to. They play. They have a. I can't read here all of a sudden. They have a playa south of town, and it used to fill up all the time. and would be a havens for sandhill cranes. They still have a lot of cool birds this time of year as they migrate south, but not like the old monsoon days. You know what I know Wilcox about? Wilcox and Benson, as you drive through that, you drive through those areas to get to, I call it the Chiriwaka National Park down there, State Park. That's pretty spectacular to go hike around. And then, you know, that's the way you go down to get to Benson. I didn't know about the cranes and stuff like that. It's a little Arizona history this morning, Dale.
Yeah.
He also says, if anyone's driving to or through Wilcox, get off on Rex Allen, go south the mile plus till the road ends. There should be a food truck. El Rey Taco. That's incredible. Hit him up. Look at that, Braxton. Look at Braxton
That's
go
pretty
for
in
us.
depth and detailed.
Oh, he's he went to Red Mountain. I know Braxton, if you don't mind me giving you history, he went to Red Mountain High School,
Okay.
but he lives in Tucson now, so he's familiar with that area, obviously, and stuff to that effect. So look at that. I was more impressed when he texted last night, and I was all, oh, yes, yeah, last night, by the way, 10 o'clock last night. And I was like, El Rey's food truck and Wilcox. What? Yeah, I mean, even Autumn ran into some ladies in the bathroom, you know, before the game, and they were like, we thought we'd have warmer weather here, and that was the Wilcox people.
Yeah.
We thought we'd be up here with warmer weather. What the heck? I was like, sorry you brought us with you. Yeah, so Coach Sheehan will join us tomorrow as well while we're negotiating the time right now. Lou tomorrow as well. And we got a busy week here with the short week, though.
Yes. Trying to cram 5 days into 3.
I know. And that's the one thing I hate about what we do. Unless we work over the holiday, meaning Thanksgiving Day, you know, it's hard to fit in all the ASU U of A smack talk and everything that goes on.
Well, you're going to that
Scooting
game,
in.
right?
I will be there Friday night. Yes, sir.
It's a night game.
It is 7 p.m. I thought it was 6, but it's 7 p.m.
Oh,
That's
they're
what
going
I
to be
get.
up late.
You know what? It's not going to be as bad as long as they win it. Okay.
Look out for Fafita.
I get it's a big rivalry. And I get there's hatred on both sides. I get all of that. I understand there's a lot at stake this year. I understand all of that. I understand it all. But man, Arizona fans are just miserable human beings. Just miserable human beings to be around.
Really?
And they're going to be all over in this section. Actually, I was like, going to text my dad last night and go, what do you say you sell the tickets? What do you say we sell these tickets? I saw upper level, like underneath the press box, which we're not that high, but we're upper level, about 50-yard line, 45-yard line, and everything right in the middle. And I saw like very top, right below the $160 a ticket on the secondary market stuff.
Mm.
And I was like, man, 6 tickets, we can make a pretty penny there. But I didn't do it. I'm not skipping that one. It'll be fun. And I don't know who's going to win it. I'm probably going to go down to the wire. I mean, I'm picking ASU. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm picking ASU. I'll tell you right now. Picking ASU. I'm not confident, though. Arizona, well, here's the problem. Arizona's playing really well right now, but they're also playing teams struggling in the Big 12 a little bit right now. Does that give them the confidence to come up here to Tucson?
I don't know. I just remember a lot of talk around here when ASU had to go play Cincinnati. It has a big game. And
You mean Arizona?
Arizona beats. No, when ASU had to go up there.
That was last year. Cincinnati?
ASU didn't have to play them this year?
Didn't play Cincinnati this year.
Who do they play up north?
Utah?
Well, no, that we knew they were going to lose that one.
They went and played, holy cow, now you're making me, Mississippi State, obviously.
Yeah.
Now you're making me rethink this whole season. Mm-hmm.
I thought they went up to Cincinnati. I guess I might be crazy.
Yeah, no, that was last year. They had that 9 a.m. kickoff last year.
Are you sure it was last year?
I'm positive Cincinnati was last year. They did not have them on the schedule this year. Yeah, the farthest they went, Iowa State. That's where they went up north. It was Iowa State. I knew they went someplace up there. Yeah, no, Cincinnati was last year. Arizona went up to Cincy for that 25, yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You know, it's only your job. It's only Tuesday. we all make mistakes, Dale. Lord knows I know that as well. So, programming note, just a heads up here for those of you that catch McCollum on business. We're planning on doing a show today. But, of course, on Tuesdays, we do it at noon because of some other things that happen around the studios. Today might have to be canceled, folks. Tomorrow might be the jail show. I have that court appointment today, Dale, with the city of Mesa. Who's not happy.
City of Mesa coming down on our boy Steve.
Yes, I might need a letter writing campaign. I might need people complaining about the city trying to railroad your favorite host. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Should I look into how you set up a GoFundMe account?
might be needed. We'll see. We'll see what it is. Judging by their offer yesterday, I have no hopes this is going to go well today. So we'll see. All because of attendance, folks. Yes. Woo-wee. So we'll see. So if I have to bail, I'll put it out on social media today. And if that's the case, we'll do a McCollum on Business tomorrow on Wednesday, even though we weren't planning on doing it, to make up for the lack of today if we're not able to get it in, because that's at 1:15. And I can't be late to that. Good impressions.
I think you show up whenever the hell you want to.
not after the news I got yesterday. I'm going to show up all buttoned down, all prim and proper. Yes, sir. No, sir. Absolutely, sir. There's going to be a lot of butt kissing going on today, folks.
Wow.
See if we can swing things. And one thing I know about prosecutors, they don't give a damn. All they care about is their prosecution record. They don't care about anything else. They don't care how much they're going to screw you over. They don't care how much they're going to ruin your life. They just care that they can notch that. Oop.
I got him.
I got him.
I got him.
I got him. Because that's how they get promoted in that area. That's how they get paid and all of that stuff. So we'll see. Jail show tomorrow, maybe. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll do a Thursday jail show as well. Robert chimed in at TME Sports Show with the Bugs Bunny headed to the Slammer. Unless I say something stupid, which I won't. I will not be in the Slammer. I don't know, though. We'll see. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. I think I'm kidding, Dale.
I wish you the best of luck, Steve.
I'm starting to sweat now. Woo, let's get off that subject real quick. Oh, I'm sweating over here. Hey, Kobe, can you throw up the show picks for me? The NFL show picks? I don't know what's going on with my voice today. I've been up since 2:30 prepping this show. Getting all fired up about my HOA company that, as board president. I'm getting fired up about them. Dealing with this court thing today. And then I had to do this graphic. Congratulations, you finally beat me. It's been a while.
I finally beat you.
It's been a while since you beat me there. Yep, I lost too. Obviously, it came down to the difference of Cowboys-Eagles. Eagles up 21-0. Cowboys stormed back. Guy for the Eagles catches a kickoff or a punt, whatever it was, and decides to return it instead of letting it go into the end zone and fumbles it. Cowboys
Did you
winning
see?
overtime.
I saw a bunch of stuff. It was number 38 for the Cowboys. I don't even know who he was, but he was just getting absolutely waylaid.
Oh, that was that play, and then the fumble happened.
Yeah, he got thrown down, tossed down, jumped on, and he still kept going. He's the one who caused the fumble.
Yeah, he caused the fumble afterwards. Yeah, I know. The nauseating, isn't it? I saw that yesterday, too. Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, he was thrown around like a rag doll going down that field, but he kept fighting and fighting. But to return that ball was ridiculous. That's the problem. That was my hesitation of picking the Eagles. Is there's just
a
lot of questions.
No,
there.
you had no hesitation.
The bigger one for me is the Chiefs showed up and beat the Colts in overtime. Same situation.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. Chiefs still keeping a little bit of a heartbeat going. And
but they had to come back to do it as well over the Colts, and that's kind of alarming to me. I'll put it this way, the rest of the NFL, somebody needs to put the Chiefs down. If you let them hang around, you might not like that when come playoff time.
Step on their neck while they're down.
Like the Colts losing that game, that might come back to haunt them.
Very well could.
They could be first-round opponents coming up. If it goes
we didn't
away.
talk much about that Rams-Buccaneers game, but
was there a lot to talk about?
Well, that Los Angeles Rams team.
Yeah, Cardinals have them twice coming up, folks.
Holy cow.
So yesterday,
hey, I want to have a bad back like the quarterback. Can my back please be as bad as Sam Bradford's?
Sam Bradford. It's not Sam Bradford. Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. It's Sam Bradford.
He's the old quarterback. Yeah, I do that all the time. I do that with Darnold, though. Darnold and Bradford. I say their names backwards. No, the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now, and they've been that way for weeks.
The defense, man.
Yeah. And then on top of it, I mean, they took Baker out, which will that help the Cardinals this weekend? Buccaneers have an undrafted. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They have Teddy Bridgewater as their backup.
Yeah.
The Vikings have an undrafted
Yes.
free agent quarterback that could be playing this
Rookie,
weekend.
I think.
Yeah, rookie, yeah. That could be playing this weekend because J.J. McCarthy. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, he might be better than J.J. McCarthy because, God, is he terrible. Could you imagine? You gave up on Darnold.
Yeah.
You're like, nope, we got our guy. And now it looks like this. The problem with that is you're going to lose J.J. Justin Jefferson, right? He's not going to be happy. He's not going to put up with this for 2-3 years.
No, there's already some talk if he's bothered and upset and whatever.
Yeah, that's the problem you're running into. It's not necessarily a quarterback problem. The problem is you have a very high paid receiver who's dynamic. That's you're going to run him out of town for him as well. And then last night, Niners also in this division. Panthers not able to capture the first place in that division, lonesome last night. The Panthers are weird to me. It's the first time I've watched them, obviously, since they played the Cardinals earlier this year, and I was shocked at their record. Man, Bryce Young still isn't it. Like, I assumed he's been improved a lot. I assumed he had been with their record this year.
Right.
He might be their problem, to be honest with you. You saw that interception he threw last night? Oof.
What about your boy, your favorite quarterback, Purdy?
No, I like him. Yeah.
The three picks in the first half.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Did you see Christian McCaffrey after the game? Did you say anything to Purdy? He goes, no, because if somebody told me just catch the ball, I'd want to deck him. He said that after the game. I'm not saying anything to him. He throws 3 picks.
Yeah. Hey, throw it to our team for crying out loud.
Does that ever happen? Like, if Troy did that, did somebody be like, did Irvin or somebody be like, hey,
I don't remember
hit me
Troy.
one time.
Probably the only time that I could ever think back and go, wow, a time when somebody might have said something to Troy was that NFC Championship when we were going for our 3rd straight Super Bowl, and he threw 2 picks before people had their popcorn.
Beginning of the game.
In the first quarter. Like,
quarterback,
what the hell are you doing?
But quarterbacks can say it to players.
Yes.
But you don't say it to the quarterback.
It's the same thing with the head coach. Head coach is going to reserve his criticism for the quarterback to do privately.
Yeah, everybody else is
You're not going to do it in front of the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you seen a quarterback yell at a receiver for not catching the ball or running the right route? But you never see that. That was my problem with Tom Brady. He was always on the sideline ripping his offensive line and screaming at him and all that stuff. And then he would do something wrong, and he'd just be sitting on the bench by himself. And I'm like, those linemen need to walk over. All 5 of them need to walk over there and just start ripping him a new one and yelling at him. But it doesn't work that way. I get it. I get it on that side too. But it's annoying to see as well from that side. So JG spoke yesterday, Dale.
He did. Was it exciting and thrilling? And
dude, he needs to go.
Or does he just say, hey, we're going to continue to work hard and we're back to work here today on a Wednesday? And
he needs to go. He needs to go now. How do we get him out that front door and make sure he never comes back?
Wow.
Wasn't it his dad? Didn't his dad famously lock somebody out of the locker room at halftime of a game and fired him?
Jonathan Gannon?
No, not Jonathan Gannon. Bidwell's dad.
Oh.
Didn't the coach get fired like at halftime or something?
Well, Buddy Ryan got fired right after the Christmas.
That was right after
game.
The game, though. That was like,
Well, he left with about a minute and a half left.
Yeah, and then he didn't make it out of the locker room. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, it was like, maybe that's what we need to do. It's infuriating watching him talk out there. And then Michael Wilson spoke about his spinning of the ball yesterday. And it had nothing to do with that play. People are still harping on it. Yep. Now, I agree. Harp on it. I'm not a problem harping on it because, hey, kid, young kid, right? 3rd year in the league. Hey, you don't do that. You hand the ball to the ref. So it's a learning thing. So harping on it probably makes him aware of that for future. So that's the good side of it. But people are still harping on it. They had he had the ball back to the ref long before the play was ready to go. We showed you all that yesterday. But when a third-year player has more professionalism, more acknowledgement on mistakes, on more, this is how I need to get better than the head coach does, that worries you, Dale. Doesn't that worry you a little bit?
Well, yeah, it depends on what team you're talking about.
I'm talking about the Cardinals here with Jonathan Gannon.
Then it worries me a lot.
Because Jonathan Gannon, what does he always say? Oh, it's all about preparation. I have faith in what we're doing here. We just need to work harder. Yesterday he said, all I think about are these losses. Well, maybe you need to go to a strip club or something and get your mind off of the losses and how you're preparing for it. Because it's not working, buddy. Maybe you need to just take a day, go to San Diego and sit on the beach, drink Mai Tais, and forget about football for a day. Because if this is all you're thinking about, it's double worrisome that you can't figure out how to fix it.
Right.
Sometimes you think too much about stuff, is what I'm arguing here from that perspective. Here's Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson, spin of the ball. You guys saw the play yesterday and everything. Just the wisdom and accountability on a third-year player here is really impressive in my eyes. Wilson, here's Wilson.
Yeah, it's just I made a big play, and I hate to say it, but truthfully, I just had a mental lapse, and obviously the optics of it it looks undisciplined, it looks bad, and that's not indicative of who I am as a player and how we coach things. Like we talk about our SOPs, our standard operating procedures from 2 minute, like from OTAs. And we talk about that every week. JG talks about you catch an explosive. If we don't have a timeout, you run the ball back into the red. Like, it's just a bad play on my part. Or not a bad play, but a bad moment for me. And I got to just get up, hand the ball to the ref. I don't think it affected anything, but it looks undisciplined. It looks sloppy.
My goodness, you could tell the young man went to Stanford. Very well spoken.
I don't know what going to Stanford has to do
Very
with that.
well. He talks better than you. Dawson High A is
Wow.
you.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. Most people talk better than me. So,
But very well spoken. Stood up and said, "Hey, he didn't." He basically said, "I don't think it had much to do with the play, but the optics were bad." And that's what it was.
and that's exactly it. Yeah.
It'd be one thing if the other 10 guys were lined up,
Yes.
standing there waiting for the ball.
I'd be losing my mind.
Then, okay.
Yeah.
But he got that ball back to the ref. It's almost like, wow, whoa, oh, boom. I mean,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
kind of like the Carolina guy last night on defense.
Yes.
Did you see him running off the field, diving? Brooks like, what's he doing? He goes, we thought they were going to snap the ball. So
He left the field late. Yes. But it's just that's a third-year player there.
Yeah.
And compared, and I'm just saying, just think of all the videos we've played of Jonathan Gannon this year in his press conferences. We have him again today, but he's changing his variations a little bit. And he talked about Kyler Murray yesterday, K1, so we'll look at that too. But that struck me even more so because has there been any accountability from the coaching staff at any point in the time this year that even equates to what he just said? His spinning of the ball did not affect the play at all at the end of the game. You know whose plays did affect the play call at the end of the game? The coaching staffs. And have you heard the coaching staff have any question at what they did? I'll tell you right now, Jonathan Gannon yesterday said again, I love the last play of the game. Loved it. Loved it. No, just even, well, we need to look at that for next time. It didn't work out here. Maybe we need to run some variations on that next time. Think about it, practice that a little bit more. Not even that, Dale. And you have a third-year receiver. Hey, it didn't affect the play, but I understand the optics are bad. And I'm never going to do that again. And you don't even get that from the coaching staff.
Right.
On the same play, the coaching staff messed it up. It's infuriating to me. Infuriating. Third-year guy's so much better than that. You want to hear about Jonathan Gannon talking about Kyler Murray? Because we brought that up yesterday, Dale. Paid attention to this yesterday when he said it.
Did he say he's on the trading block?
No.
Oh.
Listen closely.
Oh, are you reading between the lines again?
No. Just listen closely to the one word that Jonathan Gannon puts into this when he says, we'll count Kyler Murray. play for the Cardinals again this year? Here's JG on K1.
Yeah, when he's physically and mentally healthy enough to play, he'll play.
Will he need a ramp up because
Yeah, we'll always do what's best for his health first, for what's best for him, and then what's best for the team.
Well, when did the mentally thing come in?
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding.
When did the mental thing come into play?
Ding, 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 ding. I literally was sitting there yesterday working on some stuff. Like literally like this.
Well, you're about to go to jail.
Yeah,
and
well, I
you're
was.
listening
I
to
was
this.
working on my jail, my thing for the judge today, telling him how I apologize and I'm remorseful and don't throw the slammer at me, right? And I'm sitting there typing that letter up. And I hear the word mentally in there. And I went, huh? Didn't that tell you he's not playing again? But then the second part of that clip, right? The second part of that clip. Hey, Kobe, play it again for me one more time. Pay attention to this, folks.
When he's physically and mentally healthy enough to play, he'll play.
will he need a ramp up because
Yeah, we'll always do what's best for his health first, for what's best for him, and then what's best for the team.
Okay.
Boy, he looks like totally disgusted with him.
Thank you. You're coming to my side.
Well,
But then what does he say on that last part? We'll always do what's best for him
his health.
and then the team.
Yeah.
Excuse me? We're going to do what's best for him and his future in the NFL, not with the Cardinals, and then the team, who we're prepared to move on from him.
So
Have you ever heard a coach say that?
I have not heard a guy go down with an injury, go on IR, and then the coach 3 weeks later say when he is physically and mentally ready.
That is,
Woo!
and then we're going to do what's best for him, and then the team.
And then it's one thing if you just close your eyes, kind of heard him say the words, but it
Then when you
looked
see
like
his body language.
he had a poop cookie or something in his mouth when he was saying it.
He doesn't. He's not. He isn't he. Okay, I think he's sending the message that Kyler Murray's done with his team and he doesn't want to be here anymore. That's what he's sending the message, right?
Or maybe Kyler's told them as much.
That's what I'm getting. At.
Yeah.
They know the situation. That's why they put him on IR. Was Kyler's team was like, you guys like Jacoby better? We're going to sit out. Doesn't that just see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Because why else would you add the mentally side in there? There's only one reason you're not mentally prepared to play if you're healthy, is you don't want to, right? You played NFL. Give me another scenario where a player's not mentally ready to play if they're healthy. And let me take away the retirement side of it. A 38-year-old guy who's at the end of his career, hanging on, knows it's over, team's 2 and whatever. You know, he might not be mentally ready to go out there and play because
Right.
he's just tired and he knows the end zone. He's just getting through the last couple games and moving on. So take that out of the equation. But a young, healthy player that supposedly loves the game of football, tell me a time where he would not be mentally ready to play.
The time, and I think it applies to this situation, that, hey, you're the starter, you're the franchise guy, and now you'd be second string if you came
Yes.
back.
That's the only reason
How
he had
would you
mental into
handle
that.
that?
And he's not going to handle it.
Right.
He's not going to handle it.
Are you
he told him he's
mentally
not going to handle it.
prepared to be the backup?
So do you put that blame on, this is where I struggle on this, is that blame go on Kyler Murray and his team? Or does that blame go on the Cardinals and Jonathan Gannon?
110%, and I know that's not a real number. I hate when people say that. Give 110% effort. You can only give 100. But that's 100% on Murray and his team.
I agree. It's his mental
doing
makeup.
that.
Doesn't that just add into the concerns of his mental makeup?
Yeah, totally.
Jonathan Gannon yesterday, you don't have to read, you can read between those lines all you want. Jonathan Gannon said yesterday, Kyler Murray is not mentally tough, and that's his problem.
He wouldn't come back and be the backup.
Which, why wouldn't you? Come back and be the backup. I would argue this. If Kyler Murray came back, he would be the starter. I put money on it right now. He would be the starter. He doesn't want to come back and be the
Well,
starter.
if you want to get down in the weeds with that, then there's injury guarantees. If you're the Cardinals,
Well, this is my
you
point.
got a season lost. Do you really
But-
want to put him in harm's way?
That's why that's why I asked that question of do you blame the Cardinals and Jonathan Gannon, or do you blame Darrell
Yeah.
Murray? Cardinals are culpable on this too. Because if he's not mentally ready to go out there, meaning he doesn't want to be a backup, you're going to protect your paycheck, your side of the equation as well.
Right.
I believe there's a concerted effort between both sides, with no proof whatsoever. Both sides are like, yeah, we agree we're going to move on after this
Yeah.
year. And the Cardinals are going to do whatever they need to do to not embarrass Kyler Murray, which is the right thing to do in my opinion. I hate when teams ceremoniously bash quarterbacks or players and then send them out of town. It bothers you. Like, be professional about it, right? And send them on their way. Hey, we wish you luck. Put it in the newspaper. Oh, we appreciate your 7 years here. We miss you. Bye. See ya. Good luck in your career. And then you shut that door and you go, whew, thank God. That's over with.
Hope you enjoy the $340 million we paid you.
Robert chimes in at TME Sports Show. I know. And the remaining amount we owe you when we cut you. Now
Thanks for taking our money. That's like getting a ticket for a police officer and saying, "Thank you, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
May I have another?"
Oh, like that Frank Sloop guy out there in Pinal County. People get pulled over by him, get tickets, and then they're like, "Can I get your picture with you?" And I'm like, "What world do you live in that you take a smiling picture with the guy that gives you a
Just
ticket?"
give you a ticket.
But Robert says, now that you've made me pay attention to Gannon's after-game press conference, first of all, just on that statement, I'd like to apologize to everybody out there that I brought Jonathan Gannon's just ridiculous press conferences to your consciousness. I apologize sincerely for that. I apologize for putting you through the torture that I put myself through on this. But he says, it makes you wonder, this is how he sounded in the interview? How was he impressive enough to hire, let alone tamper with? And that's a good point.
Well, and I heard another station talking about this today, the fact that obviously he was the last coach hired in that cycle. You put up the records and stuff yesterday. And he was the last coach hired, and by the way, you tampered with him to get him.
Yeah, he was here for the Super Bowl, and you're like,
What?
Come see our facilities. That's my argument on this.
Wow.
Like, if you're going to tamper with you tamper to get Sean Payton. Yeah. You pay whatever the NFL, you give up draft picks for Sean Payton. You give up draft picks for, maybe Andy Reid. You do that stuff, not for a Jonathan Gannon, right? But that is a good point. Now, I'll say this. This is the most depressed I've seen Jonathan Gannon over the last 3 years. He's never been an emotional guy. But you just noticed it right there. I've noticed it the last couple of weeks. That was Monday's press conference, by the way. That wasn't Sunday after the game. That was after going home, sleeping, watching film. All he thinks about is the games. And he looked like that. It's taken a toll on him.
Yeah, well, and that's what it does to coaches.
That's why they all get fat and balding and gray hair and like presidents. Or me, whatever.
You never coached, did you?
That's the sad part. Well, that's the thing. Like, every once in a while I watch you walk, and I'm like, God, Dale looks a lot like me walking. And then I'm like, wait, I didn't play in the NFL for 17 years. Why do I walk like that? I was like, bad hip and everything. Oh, it's so bad. Come on back, folks. Bruce Cooper's going to join us. We'll talk Cardinals, Suns, ASU. Big
I
ASU
didn't know
U of A
if Coop
game.
would come in. I mean, he's got his big turkey thing going
I
this
know.
week. He's probably busy.
Scoop's always got time for you, Dale.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Come on back, folks. The main event. And of course, we're Tuesday here, and Bruce Cooper's got a busy day, but making time for us as usual here here on this Turkey Tuesday for you here coming up.
Tuesday,
Tell everybody about it.
Tell
Obviously.
everybody about it.
Yeah, the largest single day event in the nation as it relates to trying to sell turkeys and trying to feed the homeless. It's a great event, and I love how the community always galvanizes and get involved. I mean, regardless of the situation. Now here we are, coming off a shutdown. Everyone knows how snaps was cut and everything like this. Hey, there is a great amount of need out there, not only just in Arizona but around the country. But here in Arizona, our communities step up, and so I'm looking to beat and set an all-time record in the number of turkeys collected. I personally will be out at Bash's Food Store in Gilbert, Crossroads, Higley, and Elliott. I'll be there with Mark Curtis and Crebe Devine from 12 News. And so, there's just a lot of activity that goes on throughout. I mean, teams get involved. I mean, I take my hat off to every one of the local sports organizations, including Arizona State, from a collegiate standpoint. They all come and make their donations and stuff. And so there's different locations throughout the state.
I saw the other day, Arizona State, the football team raised like $13,500 for some turkey drive. I don't know. Which one it was,
Look. It's an incredible event. I look forward to it. I've been involved with it for over 30 years.
That's what I was going to ask you. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, for 25 years, I hosted it on 12 News, and so now I just show up as a guest for St. Vincent de Paul with the 12 News anchors and things like that. Yeah.
Bigger thing is Mark Curtis. He's got more than 30 years there, doesn't he? What's he getting out of the game?
Hey, look. I've asked Mark that. Mark said he still has juice left in the tank. So we'll
I read something about him. I don't know him at all, but I read something about him that he was like all ready to get out of the business and all that when he was a sports guy, and he moved to Anchor. And they got all rejuvenated again, and now he's like he loves it again.
Let me tell you something.
He's been doing that for about 20 years.
I started at 12 News as, get this, an intern for Mark Curtis doing sports. Mark Curtis did weekend sports at 12 News. Yeah. And I eventually became his producer before he left and went to Minneapolis as a sports director. And from Minneapolis, he left and he went to St. Louis. And we brought him back from St. Louis to Phoenix, where he was again. He was like the second fiddle to Bill Denny.
Yeah,
legendary Bill Denny
that's right.
at the time.
Bill Denny was there.
And so Bill eventually stepped down. Mark replaced him, and it didn't take long for our new news director to look at Mark Curtis and say, "You're wasting your time in sports, fella. You need to move over here to news." And so Mark's had a new career, as you talked about, in news.
Yeah, I got to do a lot of Sunday nights with Coop, and it's always fascinating to me because I get there an hour before whatever, and these guys, that you got to prepare for a certain amount of time on the sports broadcast, and somebody could come in. Hey, we're cutting a minute off because there's a cloud floating across the sky. Weather's going a little bit longer. And you guys had a scrub, but that's a fascinating business.
It's unbelievable. I mean, someone could be stuck up on Camelback Mountain and for 4 hours, and heck, we'll stay on it for 4 hours. And cut sports, and everything's like, okay.
It's a cutthroat business, but I'm sure a fun one. That's why he's stuck in it for so long. So that's today. If you're out in that area, Higley and Elliott. If I don't go to jail today, Coop, I'll stop by.
There you go,
having a turkey and everything.
He's
on
a
my
man.
way home.
He's a man.
If I don't end up in jail today. If not, can some of those? Don't be upset if you're down a little bit, because people have to bail me out later on. So I have a court thing today. I got here as well, but So what's the deal? If you go by there, I know there's a bunch of places. I'm sure you can go to 12 News or something, or where do you go to look at where everybody is?
Any Bash's or Food City location. You can also go online, 12 News online, or their website, or St. Vincent de Paul's online, because there's a phone bank that's set up, and so it's once you get onto those respective,
and it's just drop off turkeys or donations.
You can do it in person, or you could do it online, and so it all adds up and comes to the same thing, where we're helping our neighbor in need to have a joyous holiday season.
And everybody needs it. I've been reading other charities and people, food banks, etc., behind on that because of the government shutdown and focusing on the SNAP benefits stuff. And and all that. They didn't focus on Thanksgiving as early as they usually do and things to that effect. So, no, man, I'm proud of you coming in and talking about that. I know you're proud of it. We're proud of you doing it as well. So we definitely want to mention that to everybody today. And
Yeah, but I heard you. But I walking in, I heard you guys talking about some stuff with Jonathan Gannon. What's that all about?
Oh,
Yeah.
he wants to get right
Yeah,
back in.
no,
I mean, I want to know what it's all about. What's going on?
He's all, screw the turkeys. Let's get into JG. Hey, Kobe, play JG on Kyler Murray again really quick, just so Cooper
I
knows
missed
what we're
this.
talking about. Coop knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, when he's physically and mentally healthy enough to play, he'll play.
will he need a ramp up because of
Yeah, we'll always do what's best for his health first, for what's best for him, and then what's best for the team.
So my contention is that word mentally caught my attention. Yes.
Well, that and the facial expression. The facial expression,
Wait.
Coop. I mean, I've seen you, and I've seen you when you're mad, and I've seen you when you're happy. That was not a happy conversation.
First of all, you get mad. Kobe, play it again, but without sound. Let's test this out here. Play it without sound here, and just watch the expression here on his face. And I've seen a lot of Jonathan Gannon press conferences where he's very stoic. Looks like he doesn't want to have that conversation.
Looks like he's got indigestion.
Right, well, you know what, guys? Just playing that and without sound and just looking to him. You know what it reminded me of? I was watching the game Sunday, and I couldn't help but think of this guy because there were those obligatory shots with his arm with Gannon with his arms crossed and emotionless. You know,
Yeah.
I almost texted you at one point. Actually, because I was at the game, and I almost texted you and said, not only is he I've labeled him the statue. That's what I'm calling him now, the statue. But not only that, but the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator are on the side where the ball is. He's on the other side of the sideline standing there like a statue. He's not even like close to him. You know, he's not. Liam Cohen, I watched run up and down the sideline, talking to officials, talking to his coordinators, talking to players. And Jonathan Gannon just.
yeah. You know, now that you brought attention to it, I have to admit that.
First of all, sorry. It's going to bother you.
It does bother me because I do believe that a team takes on the personality of its coach. And when I again, thanks to you, you made the difference between Dillingham and Gannon. So I'm watching Dillingham. I mean, Saturday night in Colorado. I mean, he's about to, he's running up and down the sideline. I mean, he's if he doesn't agree with a call from an official, he lets them know and
Rips his headset off and chews them out.
And he's in the faces of his players. You know, whether it's a good play or a bad play. I mean, he's just energized. That's the personality that ASU has adopted from him.
But here's one thing I can say about it, Coop, because it's always interesting. Like, knowing Troy for so long, his agent, Lee Steinberg, told him, when you get up in front of the press corps, just be stoic. Don't say anything controversial. Don't laugh. Don't smile. Just answer the questions and get out of there. And for a lot of years, a lot of people thought that was Troy. But it really wasn't. So my question to you is, you've got Jonathan Gannon now on the sidelines, and now you're paying attention to him. Maybe somebody said, hey, your team's going to emulate you. You don't need to be frenetic, and you don't need to be, throwing stuff and all that. Because then you see Bobby Hurley on the other side.
Well, no.
Night.
I'll put it to you like this. When Pete Carroll was at USC, wildly successful. Went to the NFL with the Seahawks, wildly successful. How many times did you see this man, leave the sideline, come greet his players on the field for high fives?
Jump into him. Do the chest jump thing.
Right. I think there's a difference between that and then the over the top stuff with the Mike Stoops and the Bobby Hurleys.
Right.
There's a fine line, is what I say.
Yeah. I would like to see. Jonathan Gannon show a little more. The only emotion I've really seen him showcase on a sideline was when he got in the face of Amari DeMarcado when he let the football go.
And that's the problem. That's the only emotion we've seen from him.
Right.
And a press conference to me is different than the sideline. I understand a coach going and being, not emotional in a press conference. I can understand that. It's the sideline thing that bothers me more than the press conference.
Yeah, I thought about it too, and I said it on the way out. I said I remember Tom Landry, the hat, being so stoic and emotionless for the Dallas Cowboys, but at least he had Hall of Fame players that helped win Super Bowls for him, and so it's acceptable. But I think in today's day and age of any athletics or any major sport, I think that there has to be a level of some type of emotion. I look at Jordan Ott, who doesn't look like he's that an excitable kind of guy, but he'll get up and he'll tell you that he didn't like that. I'm challenging this call. I mean, he,
Right.
at least he has a player, an Energizer Bunny, a guy who's helped change that culture like none other, and Dylan Brooks that brings that emotion. I don't know if I see anybody necessarily like that on the Cardinals outside of maybe a Buda Baker, but that's on the defensive side of the ball.
Even Calais Campbell.
Yeah. Again, we're on the defensive side of the ball, and the Cardinals' problems lie on the offensive side of the ball. And I think their biggest problem is, and I can point you a prime example of what I'm talking about. I said it last week. I mean, Monty Austin-Ford, he's had 3 drafts with the Arizona Cardinals. Not a single Pro Bowler. His best draft pick has been, an offensive lineman.
Who's struggling this year, by the way.
Well, yeah, he
Paris
is.
Johnson.
Yeah, and so they are devoid of skilled players that lack what I call, and what you played with, playmakers, game changers, guys with speed that Jimmy Johnson was so high on. And look, there are 2 games that went into overtime on Sunday. Cardinals game here and the Lions game in Detroit. And on the first play of overtime, and this is where I'm going, Lions have this game changer, this playmaker. They handed the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs.
They have 2 of them, but one.
They handed the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. He had just a seam that he burst through. I guarantee you, and he took it to the house, 69 yards, touchdown. Lions win in overtime. If that's a Cardinals running back, same hole, it's like a 15-yard gain and they're down.
I don't even know if it's a 15-yard gain.
Huh?
I don't even know if it's a 15-yard gain.
But that's the difference. I mean, the Cardinals are devoid of those types of players, and that's been my biggest argument with the Cardinals. And I don't think that necessarily Kyler Murray is their problem, because what I'm watching with Jacoby Brissett. And I can already see the game plan on him. But I've never really paid that much attention to him before his previous 6 stops.
Right.
But here's the deal. Jacoby Brissett was lauded for his ability to stand tall in the pocket, hit the receiver downfield at the top of his break. That's something Kyler Murray wasn't doing. Kyler was escaping out. That was the narrative. That's what all the media talked about. Well, Seattle Seahawks said, okay, we're gonna make him either get rid of the ball early or he's going down. 2 strip sack fumbles for touchdowns later. That was it. What did we see Sunday afternoon? What did they do to Jacoby Brissett? Again, that's the narrative. You bring the pressure. Jacksonville brought pressure.
Jacksonville brought it off the corner, and they couldn't stop it.
But it does that. But I'm just telling you. That is the new playbook that they're going to get. Until the Cardinals show that they can handle that, that's going to continue.
Here's my point. We saw an open guy come off the edge for Jacksonville all day long and get to Brissett. They never tried to chip. They never tried to stop the guy. They never did anything.
Well,
they never changed their play calling to adjust it on that side. And then when Will Hernandez went out, that offensive line went porous.
Yeah, well,
they couldn't stop a brick wall rolling through.
Well, here's the deal. This is what Jacoby Brissett's going to have to do, and the Cardinals are going to have to do. Anytime they're bringing a blitz, you have to get rid of the ball early.
Yeah,
you just do.
Coop, you have to have hot. Here's what's concerning to me. Hot routes have to be built into your offense. And what I'm seeing a little bit is there's guys come every once in a while. There's a big guy coming free. You got to know he's free as a quarterback. The receiver needs to know he's free. And now you just throw into the blitz or slant route or choice route, whatever that is, ball's got to come out. But if you're still running your route, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this. All right, so It's 4th and 4 in overtime, and the Cardinals see that Jacksonville is they're playing the receivers man to man because they're playing zero coverage because they're going to bring the house.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't the 42 safety was back, but he was up to play the short one, and then he was able to get back there. But it wasn't covered. It wasn't technically covered.
But it doesn't matter. My whole point is that's why I'm getting ready to ask you. Look, Xavier Weaver, and he's a guy that brings speed. He's their fastest receiver.
But he's got 6 catches in his career. Whatever it is.
Now you're going to where I'm playing. If it's because I remember being up in Cardinals training camp in Flagstaff. Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald, I had them together. I was doing a feature on them. I said, game on the line, 4th down and game. Who should the ball go to? Anquan Bolden jumped all over that, over-talked Larry Fitzgerald. It's me. So that's my whole point. If it's 4th in the game, you have to go to a trusted player. You cannot, and it doesn't need to be a bomb for crying out loud.
Well, that's what we showed yesterday. There were guys underneath that, Dortch was there. He could have got it and maybe gotten that yard to get it, and yes, Trey was there. But Trey was 10, 15 yards downfield. Why is Trey 10 yards downfield or 15 yards downfield? Why is he not 5?
I don't know. I've just come to the conclusion that I'm done with this coaching staff. I really am. I mean,
two of us now.
It was
table.
It was difficult for me to say this because, I saw improvement. Cardinals went from 4 wins to 8 wins a year ago.
Yes.
And so the expectations, the bar was raised this year. Yeah. I said, this coaching staff is young. It's aggressive. I like it.
But there were problems last year with the offense that I was the first one on the Drew Penzing is terrible bandwagon, and I took a lot of crap for it last year. There were problems last year with the offense, but they won, so you were able to sweep it under the
overall,
rug.
there was improvement. And the one thing,
Yes.
because coming into this season, Bruce, I compared ASU's coaching staff to the Cardinals' coaching staff. Said not only are they getting guys who love to play the game, and sometimes that's hard to do. Hey, I'm just talented. I've floated through, and I can play D1 football and really not love the game. But both coaching staffs came into this season with expectations for the first time in a long time. And yet we hear throughout the season, Kenny Dillingham, we fell short on this thing. I made some phone calls to guys that I respect and guys that have coached longer than I have. And then every Monday you hear Jonathan Gannon go, no, we're just going to stay the course. We'll go to work tomorrow, and we'll continue to do what we're doing. It's like, that's frustrating.
After the game, he literally said, they asked him, how do you get out of this losing streak? And he said, it's all about preparation. We got to go and look at film. We got to find the mistakes and fix them. And you say that after every loss. It's obviously not working.
Yeah, I'm going to ask both of you this question. Do you believe that better players make a better coach?
Not all the time. Yeah, you still have to have a bad coach will make good players bad.
Okay. No, yes. We can sit here and talk till we're blue in the face.
Chip
is
Kelly
it Belichick? Is it Belichick?
Yeah. Well, Chip
Brady?
Kelly not at the Raiders, but Chip Kelly with the Eagles had a lot of good players, and they struggled. They struggled at times.
But he made the playoffs this first year.
He did, but then it was bad after that.
So,
but I'm just getting to the point again. Can you name me a game changer or a playmaker on
Wilson.
the Cardinals' offensive side of the ball?
Wilson, Trey McBride.
No. I said a game changer and a playmaker. There's a difference between that and very good players. I mean, Trey McBride is not going to be a guy that's going to, if you throw him a short out,
yards.
he could take a short out and make a 90-yard touchdown.
They don't give Wilson a chance very often to catch a ball in stride.
Well, I'll tell you
I
this.
noticed that on Sunday. It's a lot of curl routes. It's a lot of those types of routes.
I'll tell you this. Up until the last 2 games in which Marvin Harrison has been hurt, I couldn't have given you 2 cents for Michael Wilson.
But this is the argument, isn't it? I said yesterday, Wilson's your number 1 receiver moving forward from this day.
He has to be. He's shown that be.
And he's been on this roster for 3 years.
Well,
and you're finding out in the last 2 games how good of a receiver this kid is?
Well, let's put it to you like this. Michael Wilson, his first 2 years, just like he was in college at Stanford, always had a propensity or proclivity to get hurt. And now he's been pretty much healthy all season. But since they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. it was just understood. It was known.
Yeah.
He is our number one.
And that needs to change.
And and he has failed miserably. I mean, his father can sit there and blame the Cardinals' offense or this, that, and the other coaching or quarterbacks all he wants. The bottom line is his son dropped the freaking ball.
Yeah.
It hit his hands too often and fell on the ground too often. And so you can't blame anybody but Marvin Harrison Jr. himself. And look, just when you think he's turned the corner, he goes back the other way.
Yeah.
I have been very impressed with Michael Wilson to the point to where, I'm ready, like you said, I'm ready to make him the number one receiver and make Marvin Harrison the number two.
I will argue that making Marvin the number 2 take the pressure off of
Absolutely.
him. People are going to go toward Wilson. That might actually make Marvin Harrison Jr. look like the receiver we expected him to be.
Exactly. And then what it'll do, it'll force the defense. And this is what I love when DeAndre Hopkins was on the team. He made you pick your poison.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to draw attention to Wilson or to Harrison, there's Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Cardinals become more volatile, more explosive, more of a touchdown scoring team. And so that's what they have lacked. I mean, since Gannon has gotten here, that's what they like. Now, I give Monty Austinford credit for selecting Marvin Harrison number 4 overall because that was the consensus. This dude was better than Neighbors.
No,
this dude was better than Thomas. That was the grade coming in.
I know, but I was all on Neighbors as the guy you needed to get in here.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
But he
I wasn't the only one.
He at least tried that, and it has not worked. But I tell you what. He drafted a guy named Michael Wilson that third year, and we didn't know that Michael Wilson could be that dude until Marvin Harrison went down. So as much as we talk about, we got Brissett, we don't need Kyler Murray anymore. Well, we've got Michael Wilson, and we need to make him the new featured receiver on this team because he's proven he is that dude.
Yes.
Will the Cardinals coaching staff do that? It's the question.
And the
I have no
thing
confidence
is,
in him.
because I lived it, Bruce, I lived it with Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper. All right? Alvin Harper was the perfect number 2 because he was dynamic, acrobatic, could make big catches. He caught the ball. He ran with it. Michael took all the attention. And then Alvin Harper signs with Tampa Bay to be the number 1 receiver. And guess what? That lasted for about a year and a half, and he's not a number 1.
It's Bust City, yeah.
So could Marvin Harrison be the best number 2 in the NFL? Maybe. But I'd like to see him. I'd like to see them try that.
If they come back and Marvin Harrison's the one right when he comes back, I just have no confidence they might realize. Now, Jonathan Gannon yesterday, I don't have the clip, but he did say yesterday you throw it to the guys that go and get the ball. So maybe that gives you hope that they're even like, all right, that's our guy right there.
Yeah, and then you look at the Cardinals running back room. I mean, look, James Conner is a nice bull, but that's what he is. He's a Cam Scatterboo type of running back. He's just a bull in a china shop. He is not that home run hitter.
No.
And so I look at the Cardinals running back room. And I mean, heck, granted some injuries have come in, but I have not been impressed with Trey Benson.
No.
And Amari DiMercato, I will tell you that he's shown flashes of having that burst, that home run speed, but by and large, I mean, we're down to what the Bam Knights, the Michael Carters. I mean, they have done
They're direct snapping the ball to Dortch, who's getting tackled 4-yard losses every time.
Monty Austinford has not done a good job of procuring playmakers, game changers, specifically on the offensive side of the ball where it is needed.
Well, here's the thing. I know we got to go to break.
Yeah.
We're at the top of the hour, but
Wrap it up here.
everybody talks about the offensive line has not played well this year. It's taken a definitive step back. But how much is that? Because James Conner, yes, a battering ram, tough physical runner, but he's going to get you 5 yards.
Not at the beginning of the year, he wasn't.
Second 5 opens up a whole lot of possibilities, more than second and 11.
Yeah, but Dale, even when he was healthy, he wasn't even doing that this year. And I will say this, that was the biggest reason why the Cardinals enjoyed a lot of success early on last year when they had they were in first place at the break
I believe so, yeah.
yeah, and so they enjoyed a lot of success because of their ability to run the ball. I believe they were top 5 in the league running the ball, and so that now takes the pressure off of Kyler Murray or any quarterback for that matter to try and do it on their right arm by themselves. And so without that, the Cardinals have been just a horrible offensive unit, and well, I shouldn't say horrible, but they didn't reach the heights that they were last year. And so with Brissett stepping in and him throwing completing record 47 passes,
300 yards.
No, we lost the freaking game, dude.
But 300 yards a game, which Kyler Murray was only doing 180, 200. So the offense moves better with Jacoby, but they still can't score.
They move better through the air.
That's what I mean.
And so what difference does it make? Because the Cardinals were more balanced a year ago.
Yeah.
And so the balance is what you look for. But what difference does it make if I'm throwing for 400 yards and completing 47 passes when I'm down 35-10? So a lot of those yards are going to come in garbage time anyway. And so it does no good. I need the Cardinals to bring in more playmakers and more game changers. And when you do that, that means I'm bringing speed to the lineup. The only speed guy they have is a guy that has, you said, 6-game experience, Xavier Weaver. Yeah. No, Jimmy Johnson
he was so huge. Oh, 6 catches. Okay. 6 catches. Not even 6 games, dude. 6 catches.
Okay. Jimmy Johnson, I go back, I keep harking back to him because I love his element of, I like speed, and speed killed during his reign and the Dallas Cowboys reign, and it still does today. Yeah. I watched Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, brother took it to the house. Yeah. I need some house calls for the Arizona Cardinals. I need some house call playmakers.
So look at this, fired up Bruce Cooper on this Tuesday. He's got to get all this anger out before he goes. Has to be jovial out there. He's gonna be yelling at people all day.
I want to know if he's gonna go along with my "Hey, let's trade Booker" thing.
We'll get to that as well. But Jonathan Gannon was asked about changes. We'll wrap up with the Cardinals and the Jonathan Gannon stuff here when we come back. ASU talk. Suns as well.
Wildcats!
ASU, U of A, obviously. A lot to squeeze in here in the next hour, so come on back. It's the main event with Tuesdays with Bruce Cooper. We're back here. Main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, 17-year NFL veteran. Dale Hellestrae here. To the right, 17.
How many Super Bowls, Bruce?
Well, gee,
Well, I mean, he's asking
he
me to
would
change
bring that
it.
up with you.
3 Super Bowls, 4 4 NFC Championship games, 1 AFC Championship game.
Thank you.
Several national championship wannabe games in college.
Yeah, I realized that we won 2 national championships when I was at SMU. I think they just gave it to ourselves. I don't know how that happened.
But more importantly, what was his high school resume?
That's good too. It's disgusting how good it is.
Saguaro,
Rats.
again. Hey, Coop,
Soare's about to call him and ask him to be the head coach.
hey, Coop, let's talk about our last high school basketball game together. I'll tell you mine. You tell you.
Westwood and Saguaro
Yeah.
right here battling it out. So you brought up though Jonathan Gannon. You're ready for this coaching staff
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
I was okay keeping Jonathan Gannon, but the offensive staff needs to change. But I've changed on that, and I'll tell
yeah.
you why I've changed
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
Even Rallis needs to go. If Jonathan Gannon's going to come back, you need a complete overhaul. And the reason why is Cardinals the other day, went down the field and scored in that fourth quarter to go up 20. What was it? 20. I got it right here. 20. I apologize, everybody. I had it here. They went down and they scored and they got the lead, though, late in this game. Jacksonville went down in like 9 plays.
24-21.
That's what it was. And then Jacksonville goes down, easily goes down the field and scores a touchdown. Just no defensive pressure whatsoever. And I even tweeted it out at that moment. The Cardinals are trying to lose this game. Just they went into a prevent defense, let Jacksonville go down and score when they've been having defensive success. And Jacksonville takes the 3-point lead again or whatever it was, 3-point lead, and the Cardinals have to, then they 4 and out, and then Jacksonville screws the pooch up and goes 4 and out, and the Cardinals go down and score and kick the field goal. But even in the big moments where you can win the game late, they go into like a quasi-prevent defense, and the other team just drives the field and scores on you. We saw it earlier this year with those 5 losses by 13 points or whatever it was. Just the defense. And at that time, I gave it up to them that they were just tired. But it's been a season-long thing of when the Cardinals take the lead late, in the games that they're into, they take the lead late, the defense gives up easy touchdowns on the backside, and that's coaching.
Yeah, it is, and it's so funny. You guys know that I'm a draft Nick. I already know
Yes.
who my first round pick for the Cardinals is, and I've already been making moves and stuff in my head of what I want to do. I mean, they've left me no other choice.
Yeah, but
Well, you don't
Coop,
even know where
you
the
don't
pick
know
is.
that they might end up having the top pick.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't matter.
Titans only gonna have one win this year.
I already know what I'm doing. So here's the deal. With that in mind, I said, I have to make a coaching change. So like I said, if I make a coaching change, I have to have that guy in mind who I want. So I already know the coach I want for the Arizona Cardinals to
Okay.
replace Gannon. With the Kansas City Chiefs, their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. Here's a guy who brings a myriad of blitzes. He can get you off the field, but he also is on the sideline of an offensive guru and a genius that he understands the value of playmakers. He understands the value of creativity. He understands the value of 4 or 5 wide receiver sets, the creativity and stuff. So I think that bringing someone like him on board would serve the Cardinals best.
Well, you can even go farther. Steve said that Chiefs defense hasn't been the best defense in the league when they've been winning either.
No.
Chris Jones obviously is one of the best linemen in the league, so they've had some players, but they haven't been one of the best defenses in the league. And he gets out there and, like you said, he gets them off the field and stuff like that. So the play I was talking about really quick was when they went up 21-17. The Cardinals did. 9 plays, 60 yards in 3 minutes and 25 seconds is what the Jaguars did. Went down 24-21, and then the Cardinals had to tie it up late. And it's just there's something off on both sides of this ball with the coaching staff and how they're coaching.
Right.
Game.
If you follow this, and this is where I'm going with Spagnuolo. If you follow the Cardinals, they'll get you in a possession down, 3rd and whatever or 4th and whatever, and the opposition always converts. They never get you off the field. And I've noticed during the Kansas City Chiefs and their Super Bowl runs,
multiple.
that Spagnuolo, when he dials up the right defense, the right blitz, the right call that gets his team off the field, get Mahomes and the offense back on the field. I mean, I need that dude.
Well, and Coop, he's been a head coach
That's what I was
before.
gonna say. Where is he a head coach at? Giants,
and he
right?
got fired. But a lot of times, that's your first head coaching job.
Say Bill Parcells.
Yeah, first head coaching job. You learn from that. Hey, I get another chance. I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to do that a little bit different. And I like that about a guy who's probably going to learn from his first experience.
Sure.
I didn't realize he won that Super Bowl with the Giants back in the day too. So he's the only coordinator in NFL history, offense or defense, to win a Super Bowl with 2 different franchises. In everything as well, so he's got a long history as well at that spot.
And to Dale's point, I mean the greatest benefactor of getting a second chance at as a head coach is Bill Parcells. I mean he fired. I think he was fired with the Jets and the Browns before he landed at New England.
Well, how about Bill Belichick?
Well, that's what I meant. I'm trying to say Bill
Not
Belichick. I said
Parcells.
Parcells.
Had pretty good at the Giants.
No. I'm sorry. It's Bill Belichick. I was meant
the
to
guy
say.
we mentioned earlier, Pete Carroll, failed in New England before he, figured it out. Stuff like that. Yeah, no, I just looked it up because I couldn't remember. It was the Rams that Spagnuolo was the head coach.
Was he really? Gosh,
2009 to 2011.
Okay.
Is where he was. So I agree with you. He was interim head coach on the Giants in 2017 before he went to the Chiefs. But that's an interesting choice. I haven't even thought about a replacement yet because I believe unless the Cardinals keep losing, Jonathan Gannon is safe. No, tell me where their win is. Maybe Atlanta at the end of the year.
Did you see the Rams play the other day?
Man, you know what drives me crazy is as I watch a game like last night. Brock Purdy throws interceptions on 3 consecutive possessions.
Yep.
The Cardinals the day before get 4.
Yeah.
And they lose, and the 49ers win despite that. I mean, look.
I've been comparing the Cardinals and 49ers season for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks now, and it's disgusting.
It really is. It really is. I mean, they can lose half their roster to injury, and they still win, and they can throw 3 interceptions in the darn game and win. We can get 4 interceptions, and we still have.
We have to force overtime. That's how we do. No, I've been comparing that. It is utterly disgusting. And that's the other reason why Michael Bidwell needs to figure out what his bot in life is, right? And, you can continue to hire coaches that aren't ready for the position, or you can go out and get a coach that is going to be successful with the pedigree, et cetera, like the Niners have done. That's the difference.
Hey, look, I'm ready to watch the Detroit Lions play on Thanksgiving in a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tradition. Like you watch the Lions and you watch the Cowboys. I mean, the Thanksgiving Day was probably one of the rare games that you expected the Lions to win. I mean, they've been a morbid, pathetic franchise for years. They're one of only maybe 3 franchises who've never been to a Super Bowl. They've been that pathetic. But let me tell you what they've done recently. Under Campbell as their head coach, and I got to give their GM a lot of credit too. Look,
they added talent.
He's gone out and brought in speed at running back in Gibbs, speed at wide receiver in Jamison Williams, and then he has his number 1 in Amon.
You keep only saying Gibbs. They have a 1-2 punch at running back that no other team
David
has.
Montgomery, sure, but David Montgomery was not a draft pick.
No. That's why I'm saying.
Yes, I am. Because he built this thing through the draft,
right?
And he went with speed.
That's how you win in the NFL.
Jamison Williams is just. I mean, I don't even know who's faster, him or Gibbs. But one's a running back, the other's a receiver, and then he has a nice possession number 1 receiver who on 4th and whatever you're going to Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's no question. And then you have a tight end, some guy named Sam Laporta. Now the Cardinals have a tight end in Trey McBride, but they don't have those other elements. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The Detroit Lions have turned the corner through the draft by bringing in playmakers, game changers, and speed. Darn it, why can't the Cardinals do that?
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing and I brought up just a little bit earlier, you have to be willing to change when it's not working. And something's not. How many guys have we seen get let go in the NFL? Coordinators, things like that.
We saw a defensive coordinator for Giants let go. Chip Kelly let go by the Raiders, all within 24 hours because it's not working there.
Yeah.
And obviously two bad franchises. But you look at Detroit, and all of a sudden Dan Campbell takes over the coaching.
The offensive play call.
It's not working right now, so let's try some. Now, again, we're going to try something. That might not be the answer, But to just continue to go out
Same
week
thing, yeah.
after week
Well,
after week.
Yeah.
This
and-
is a minute 22 clip here, and you want to know how Jonathan Gannon thinks about changes, guys? Jonathan Gannon telling you yesterday what he thinks about changes. The question's included here, so I didn't cut the question out.
When we look at those games that you're talking about, we evaluate everything that we're doing, and then we implement certain things to try to fix problems that keep showing up over and over. That's what anybody would do, but I believe in our process and our people, and to change for the sake of change, I think that you're going to get a different result. I don't believe in that where we're at right now. I think, these games that are down score games, you can look at a couple plays here or there, but I showed the defense the first drive, of the game. They're backed up, and 5 plays later it's 7-0, and really not for anything schematically that they did. So those are the things that I point out, that it's like, hey, let's fix these day one install plays on a sail route, on a stretch play, on a 4-way post wheel, 3-out man-to-man zone beater that we're in man-to-man. Let's do those a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, and then in critical moments, do we have the right thought process, and can we execute? I think we have the right thought process, and I've seen us execute. We just got to do it at a little higher level.
How
You
about
believe
this?
any of that? You believe any of that, Bruce?
Well, here's the deal.
That garbage you just spewed?
Here's the deal. Third down conversions are key, because those are your possession downs.
Yep.
Teams are rarely going to go for it on fourth down anyway. Problem is, the Cardinals give up too many third down conversions defensively and don't convert enough third downs offensively.
Yep.
And so you could talk about you go back and you look at it, this, that, and the other. Bottom line, man, this is a results-oriented business. Until you fix those two issues, you're going to struggle.
But you just heard them. They go back and they try to fix what they saw before. Here's the defensive drive that he's talking about, the Jags' first first offensive drive. Keep in mind, they studied film all week, guys, right, Dale? Right? You studied film all week on your opponent, and you put together, here's what we're going to try to stop on their first drive. You work on it all week in practice, do you not? Here's what we're going to focus on. Okay, 2-yard run for the Jags at that point. 30-yard pass. 5-yard penalty. 40-yard run. Touchdown. 15-yard touchdown pass.
Jeez.
You didn't even put an effort out on defense. You literally let them just drive the field. You worked your butt off. You did exactly what he says in that clip. Well, we're going to go back and study tape. We're going to fix the stuff that went wrong. I told the guys we can't do this at the beginning. How many times have we seen the opponent drive down the field on the first drive and not have a defense out there? And you just saw it again. And nothing's getting fixed. He keeps saying we're putting this in to change it. What's being fixed? We're seeing the same thing every week, Dale.
You bring it up, the third down situation, Coop. And Troy and I have always went around and around. Well, what led to the downfall of the Cowboys? Free agency obviously took some good players and coaches away from our team. But he still maintains to this day that was when Jay Novacek had to retire because he got hurt. And how many times over a 6-year period on 3rd and 4, on 3rd and 3, on 3rd and 6, did they run a little choice route? And Jay Novacek was uncoverable.
Yeah.
He'd gain 7 yards.
Yeah.
And the drive would stay alive. Another 3 downs.
Right.
Another 3 downs.
You have a guy that can do
And
it. They're just
you've got
not
a guy
able
here.
to do it.
It's a bigger, stronger version of a Jay Novacek.
Yeah, but but also mention some of the other playmakers that defenses had to pick their poison.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. The Cardinals are devoid of they don't
They were-
look. I can bracket McBride if I want to, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about the other until you get and even finding a back out of the backfield, because the Cardinals had a chance to get Bijan Robinson.
Dortch out of the backfield.
Well, they
Let's
had a
try
chance.
that.
Yeah, they had a chance to get Bijan Robinson, but they chose to trade down, and then they eventually trade back up and take Paris Johnson. But my point is, here's a guy with the Atlanta Falcons. He's responsible for like over 50% of their offense, because not only is he an accomplished game-changing running back, he catches the ball like a receiver out of the backfield. And so that's what you're seeing a little bit some with Jahmyr Gibbs, though Gibbs' hands aren't better than Robinson. But when you have a chance to take someone, and that's why, and I'll tell you right now, that's why I'm huge on the Cardinals' first-round pick being Jeremiah Love of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I mean, he has that game-breaking speed, but he also has those wide receiver hands. You have to start somewhere in terms of bringing speed and playmakers on this team, and that's the guy. That's the guy I'm earmarking.
But Coop, you don't take running backs in the top 10, do you?
You know
Coop?
what? I sure
Coop,
do.
You don't.
I sure. You know, look. Let's put it to you like this. There is some guy named Emmitt Smith, a Hall of Famer, that I believe went 17 or 18 to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
And people today, there are so many people today say, you don't take a running back in the first round.
Right.
Oh, really?
I think I think that narrative's changing a little bit with some of these young guys coming out because of what they can do catching the ball.
It needs to
stuff like
change,
that,
and that's the guy. I'm gonna tell everybody that's the guy I have for the Arizona Cardinals is Jeremiah Love. I mean, he's a speedster who, like Gibbs, you give him a crease, he can take it to the house.
So you'd like to see Steve Spagnuolo and Love here with the Cardinals next year.
Absolutely.
Okay.
With the new coaching staff, obviously, all new coaching staff. By the way, Cardinals were 5 for 16 on third down on Sunday.
Well, again, and then you go to the fourth down, 4th and 4.
1 and 3
Yeah,
on fourth down.
yeah.
Fourth and 4.
right, well-
Just get the dang first down, man. I mean, for crying out loud.
Let's so
I was so upset.
Sunday after the game, he said he loved the play call. Go win the game, and I contend get the first down because it's a makeable 4.
Yeah.
You have 4 minutes left on the clock. You have 4 new downs to go down and score and win the game.
So what was he trying to say? If I pick up the 4 yards, then I'm not trying to win the game?
That's what I took
Oh,
him as saying.
stop it.
No, he's defending his stupid play caller, Bruce, is what he's doing. Well, let's talk about Jonathan Gannon on the final play on Monday. Let's see if he's changed his tune at all.
He probably blamed himself. What did he say? I could have put a touch less air and probably we could have shaved it a little thinner, I think, because the second guy in was in a double on the other side of the field. But I love the decision. I thought, the 2 coverages that we're expecting, we knew that was going to be a one-on-one to, in my mind, win the game. And then the pressures answers that you had, if they decided to pressure us, you had one answer on the page, the mic, and the other answer on the page 85. So I felt really good about that play and what we were doing there.
He's not going to change the narrative. He loves that play, and it's garbage play, and everybody thinks it is, except for Jonathan Gannon and Drew Penzing.
Look. Again, you can having a running back isolated on a linebacker, most that can catch the ball. I mean, like the Christian McCaffreys of the world stuff. It's a nightmare matchup.
It's a mismatch.
Yeah.
Dortch was running a slant, and because I was watching Dortch actually. He was running a slant, and he was open. Now he was short of the first down. He would have had to catch it and get ahead of it with the guy coming towards him. But that's a better chance than what they threw.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I would have done.
If Dortch would have been short, hey, you threw it to the right guy. Because nobody was going to go, well, you missed Xavier Weaver deep.
Now, you're right.
Why do you throw it to Dortch for? You missed Xavier Weaver 40 yards down the field. Nobody would say that.
No, yeah.
If Dortch doesn't pick it up, it drives me nuts, right? Yeah. So let's get off of that bad subject here and move on here.
Let's go to I know we're talking ASU U of A, but I just want to get one more shot in. Trade Booker.
Trade.
Well, let's do it. Let's go. Suns lost last night to Houston. Grayson Allen's still out. We have some injuries creeping in here. Second night of a double-double. Houston hadn't played, or back-to-back. Houston hadn't played since Thursday. They did look fresher when the game started, and things to that effect. Dylan Brooks back against his old team. I loved his tenacity out there. The Suns just looked almost defeated when the game started, in my opinion.
Look, they again load management for Mark Williams. He doesn't play. So here's the deal. If you watch that first quarter, it told you everything you needed to know. The Suns, they struggled mightily to hit the open shot.
Yeah.
They didn't make a three. They were just missing, clanking everything. And so they're falling behind. Second quarter, They're down 15. They go on this run to close it to 4 before Houston built it back up to 9.
I think it was 59-50 at halftime, right?
Because they built it up to 9 at halftime. Third quarter, Suns again try with it. I mean, Houston built its lead up to like 17, 18 points. Dylan Brooks then came in. He just like took over. I think Brooks went on like a personal, like a 8-10-0 run himself.
He had like 3 or 4 shots in a row.
Yeah. They got it back down to 4.
But did you see what the Rockets did when Dylan Brooks started hitting well? Adams, started taking,
Adams.
flopping shots and stuff like that with him to kind of get him off his game. I found that fascinating by Ime Udoka doing that stuff.
Yeah, and so the Rockets were able to withstand that, and they started a run of their own to build it back up. So anytime you see something like that, team they're not playing with the same energy and that they normally play with. They don't have the same focus, the same energy, and again, that's because of that second night of a back-to-back. And then Houston has a former Suns player that brings the same kind of energy that we all marvel at, that Brooks and Gillespie and Goodwin and Dunn bring. And oh, by the way, Dunn didn't play last night either.
Yeah,
and so his name is Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie out-energied the Suns' Energizer Bunnies, and that's because he's fresher. And so, it'll be interesting. I know the two teams play again in Houston on December 5th. I expect that game to be a highly different game.
It will be.
Yeah.
No, the interesting thing that I get is because the Suns have this dilemma coming up as well. They have another back-to-back where they've got 2 tall teams. I'm forgetting the one, but one's Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City and Denver.
Yeah, that's right. And so which one do you play Mark Williams in on that one, right? It's the same situation they had in this. Which one do we play him in? Which one do we sit him in? And Jordan Ott last night after the game said, look, we need all 3 of our bigs to play. He just flat out said it. So for us to have a chance against these big teams, we need Oso. We need Mark out there, and of course, and I'm forgetting the other guy right now.
Nick Richards.
Nick Richards. We need all 3 of those guys to play to compete with these guys that have 2-3 big guys out there. Houston has the tallest lineup in the league, even without Kevin Durant out there.
Yeah.
And the Suns just don't have that same size, and that's what they'll struggle. And I don't know if there's a plan to get Williams to eventually play back-to-backs or if it's just to keep him out there. But, I mean, they have another dilemma coming up. But I agree with you. Last night was just – I'm going to call it one of those throwaway games. Now, they didn't go out there to try to lose it, but they also were like, this is our second ever back-to-back. They haven't played since Thursday. We'll go give it our best shot, and we'll go home.
Yeah, well, with an 82-game schedule, teams usually try to break it into 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And so you use 20 games, even though there's 2 games left
Yeah.
over. So regardless of what takes place in the next 2 games, because the Suns are 11 and 7.
7,
yep.
So
After
that's
last
18
night.
games. So 2 more games. So that means the worst they can be is 11 and 9. So they've won the first quarter.
Yeah.
All right. And so with that,
blew everybody's expectation
sure,
level out of the water.
there's no question. Yeah. And this December schedule is really loaded with a lot of good teams. The Suns play Oklahoma City twice. They play Houston twice, maybe even 3 times. They play the Lakers, and so they're and the Nuggets. So they're playing a lot of good teams during the month of December. So this would be their second quarter, and so I'm interested to see what their record is at halftime, because I think that'll say a lot moving forward.
What do you think it's going to be? Out of curiosity.
Look, I think the Suns are going to continue to surprise because of the way they play defensively. See, defense travels, and so when they're struggling with their shots, that defense is still going to carry them. And what the Suns could have used last night, they could have used the long arms of Ryan Dunn, who was not available. They could use, when they're struggling to shoot the ball, they could use the sharp shooting talents of Grayson Allen. And yes, they could have used Mark Williams to do better inside in terms of better rebounding, because Houston was really pounding that offensive glass. And so I just like everything about this team. Again, the way they play and pressure you on the perimeter defensively is just unbelievable. But there's a trend that I'm starting to see with the Suns that I don't like. So I'm starting to turn the ball over a lot themselves again.
They do it for 2 or 3 games, and then all of a sudden they fix it, and then they do it again.
21 turnovers last night.
Yeah.
They had, I think, 7 or 8 the game before, and then they had 28 the game before that.
Absolutely.
And it's
and
a
they won.
constant thing with
They
them.
won the
They
game
that
with the
one.
28 turnovers
Yeah,
against
exactly.
Minnesota.
It's they had to come back. They're the only team to come back from less than a minute down by 8 or more. And they were the only team to ever do that.
Yeah, I'm this crazy guy that like when I watch a Suns season or a team season, and when you lose a game at home that you shouldn't have, and that was the Atlanta Hawks game. They shouldn't have lost at home to the Hawks. And so I it stays with me, and I go throughout the season. I say, if they just would have, well, they beat Minnesota at home in a game that they should have lost. So now we're even.
Yeah, it makes it out, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you said, I'll tell you this: at the end of December, I think the Suns are going to be plus or minus 500 in terms of games in their schedule at the end of December.
Well, what does
That's what I
that
think
mean?
they're gonna-
Plus or minus 500?
Well, meaning because I don't want to say a 500 team, because then you'll be like, they're not 500 like you did all year for the Diamondbacks.
They'll be a plus team.
But
They'll be a
that's what I mean.
plus team.
They'll be either 5 games below 500
No,
or
they
5
won't.
games above 500, but they'll be in that 500 range. is what I'm getting at.
They'll be an above 500 team just for the
That's what
reasons
I'm
that I
saying.
said that their defense
At the end of
defense
December.
travels, and they do that
I agree with
extremely
you on
well.
that. I mean, they have some hard teams coming up, and they'll lose some. They'll lose obviously some of those games, but they also have the Kings several times, and now that's barring that they stay healthy and they get done back, and things like that
Yeah,
affecting Grayson Allen. I think Grayson Allen not being out there does affect that offense with those threes and things of that. But I think at the end of December, like I said, around 500, just a matter of close to it.
Well,
at that point.
again, I think everybody's just letting it slide. But 3 straight games, Devin Booker's not played like
I was
Devin
waiting for
Booker.
that.
I mean, he had more turnovers and assists last night.
Yeah, he's teams are starting to play him a lot more physical, and they're blitzing him a lot more, and so what Devin needs to do is, instead of trying to dribble the ball, because that's when the ball gets knocked away from him, or he tries to pass on the move, and that's something that I noticed that Nick Richards would get a rebound, and now he could dribble up the court. Now, instead of, if you don't have anyone to throw to, you don't need to throw on the move. Just stop and pick the ball up, pick your dribble up, and then find someone else. And so they're making ill-advised passes. And so I think those are correctable things. Teach the big guy, no, Nick Richards, okay, just like Oso could bring the ball up, if you don't need to pass on the move. And because that's leading to turnovers. People are reading your eyes, they're reading your lane, you're telegraphing that pass, and it's getting intercepted. Dude, just stop. Pick up the ball. And now,
I think that's the byproduct of them trying to rush, trying to be physical, trying to be fast, and that's just something they got to learn.
Well, and I think also Devin Booker, he needs to learn to be a little bit more like Steph Curry, in my mind, to move without the ball.
Yeah.
Because you're right, when he has the ball and he starts to go in and dribble, number one, it stalemates the offense. Everybody's standing around watching him dribble, and then he's going to take a shot when the clock's running down. Versus Steph Curry, I mean, how frustrating would it be to have to cover him?
He's
running
everywhere.
through screens. He's
You ever
running
seen
around,
it? Yeah.
and then he's getting an open jump shot. So I'm joking about trading
I know you.
Devin Booker, but
I laugh.
We're holding to it.
yeah, but he's got to play better.
Well, I mean, 17 points in the fourth quarter for the Suns last night. It's never good.
Yeah, Devin will go through those stretches. Once he starts getting, and this is going to help him out a great deal. He gets a guy like Jalen Green back healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to Jalen can get downhill with the best of them. And so, if you want to double Booker or send blitzes to him, Jalen Green's going to attack the hole. So it's going to make the Suns much better when they're fully healthy. And I'm not really sure when that's going to be. I think Jalen has maybe 2 more weeks before they evaluate him.
Keep him out until January. Let that thing heal because you worry. I think it's 39%, 30-something% of players that have a soft tissue injury, meaning a hamstring, a groin, something like that, re-injure it, and they re-injure it worse, which he's obviously just done.
Yeah.
So what's the danger of the third time coming up here as well? So they go, okay, you're able to play now, and then go, okay, we're going to wait a couple more weeks. Do that little deal.
Yeah,
Suns in the 6th spot right now.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about him, if you looked at his his resume and
Yeah,
history
no
since he's
time
entered
at
the
all.
league. Yeah, he doesn't miss
Same thing with
games.
Corbin Burns, the most
Yeah.
guy that always pitches, never misses a game. Corbin Burns, his whole career, comes to Arizona, has to have Tommy John surgery and out for the season.
Valley can't have good things, dude.
It's like something about showing up to the Phoenix air and the good weather, and all of a sudden you can't play anymore from that. Before we go to break here, if you stayed up last night, did you stay up last night?
I did. I watched ASU beat Texas. I sure
Here's
did.
the final shot here. Mo,
Odom.
baby. Got Kobe off guard here.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, here
Shot
it is,
clock
yeah.
is off.
Sorry, Kobe.
Odom for three. Oh my God!
That's a gorgeous step to the side. The interesting thing about this, that's Sean Miller's coach right there
Yeah,
for
he's
Texas.
Sean Miller. I loved it. Yeah.
But the thing that shocks me about that is Mo was the best player for ASU last night on the court. It wasn't even close.
36 points, and I believe he was something like 16 of 18 from the free
Kept
throw
him in
line.
the game. The guy, you knew he was going to shoot that ball, and you don't have a better defense out there for that call after your guy misses the free throw to allow him to go out there and shoot that and win that. That's what struck at me there was Sean Miller still having those defensive lapses. late in the
Even
game.
Texas's last play, their last play to win the game, they had called a timeout,
Oh, yeah.
come out of timeout. They put the ball in Swain's hand. Well, he's trying to dribble, and he slips, loses his balance and the ball. Masamba Jop picks it up, dribbles out the final seconds, and ASU wins the game. I mean, Texas didn't even get off a final shot.
He didn't. Yeah, he had Jop. And Jop is
He
doing.
stayed
he's-
in foul trouble.
He's amazing. Though.
Yeah.
He is a special kid out there as well. He contributed highly in this game. Now, the Maui Invitational isn't what it used to be. I know it still gets a lot of hype. It's fun to watch him play in that junior high stadium, with no seats in there and stuff. But it's not what it used to be because like Vegas puts more money into it now. They pay teams more. You don't wow recruits. You used to go to Maui because you wanted to wow you. Hey, I'm going to this team because they go to Maui every year and things like that. It's not like that, but it's still exciting to
Right,
see.
and having said that, Steve, the reason why I'm not getting overly excited about ASU.
That's what I was going to ask you because they're being better than what you thought they'd
Well,
be.
no, they really aren't.
Okay.
They really aren't. This is what happens during the month of November.
Yeah.
Into the, ASU's non-conference schedule or record under Bobby Hurley is great. I mean, they can go like 13-1,
But they
11-2.
They beat an SEC school that made the opening tournament game with a losing conference record last year, Coop.
And so again, the same thing last year with Josan Sannon and Jaden Quaidens.
Yeah, Quaidens.
They have another phenomenal non-conference record. And then once the conference season starts, something always happens. It's usually an
talent
injury.
steps up.
It's usually some kind of injury. Last year it was to Josan Sannon, for he missed like 3 weeks, and he was
so
their
did Q.
best shooter. And
Q went down.
then when he comes back, Quaidens is lost for the year. And so you can go back again to Josh Christophers and Bagley's. I mean, it always
2020 year.
happens. They play these great non-conference records, and then once conference play happens, something happens.
Yeah, but I have
and-
a theory on that.
Right.
Want to know my theory? You're going up against Hall of Fame coaches in the Big 12, especially nowadays with the Big 12.
Well, before it was a
last year.
Pac-12.
It was. But even then, you were going up against some Hall of
Not
Fame
Hall of
coaches in the
Famers in the
Pac-12. as well.
Pac-12. Stop.
Steve Lavin? Come on, Dale. Just
No, but
kidding.
they climbed up into the top 5 in the national rankings in a couple of those years in
Sure.
in November.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I'm not super excited. The Big 12 is going to be a gauntlet. They're going to struggle with it. But I'll say this team's fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, they've had some teams that have been fun to watch, but then those players don't become available
That's the
because
problem.
they always get
That's
hurt.
the
I don't know what it is, and so that's why I'm certainly tempering my emotions relative to what I saw last night. Even if ASU. Because they win a lot. They do find themselves winning some of these.
They played Gonzaga very well,
Oh, sure
way
they did.
better than I thought they
Hey,
played.
look! Gonzaga just beat Alabama by 10 points, the same amount of points that they beat ASU by, and Alabama's the number 8 team in the country.
Exactly.
And so, look, it's non-conference. ASU's going to play well.
It's long conferences. It's Maui. You don't know how much Sean Miller's out there, on the beaches or whatever, doing whatever Sean Miller does.
Well, look,
Can't stand Sean Miller
I guarantee you,
on
not
that
only
sideline.
not only are ASU fans reveling in beating Sean Miller, but so are U of A
I know,
fans.
they're
They
excited.
were reveling in ASU beating.
They were. I
Sean
saw a
Miller.
lot of, because U of A's game got done earlier, started like an hour and a half before. I saw a lot of U of A fans watching that game and just celebrating ASU beating Sean Miller at that point. Let's take our break here. Come on back, and then let's get into it. College football. These two have a bet.
We do.
Let's see. It's going to come down to this
Can you
weekend.
say it out loud, Bruce?
Well, are we
Fafita.
counting a bowl game in the record, or is this just regular season? By the way, we never clarified.
We
that.
never did clarify that. I
'cause
think
you
you
could still
just do
tie.
it. It all comes down to this week.
Yeah, it comes down. It
You
comes
guys-
down to
you guys
it
can
comes down
argue
to the
about
cup.
this.
Comes down to the cup.
All right, come on back, folks. The main event with Bruce Cooper. We're back here.
El
Dale-
Paso sucks.
Dale just said, let's avoid the Sun Bowl. Because I was just pointing out, the winner of this game, you're like, oh, you're going to go to a good bowl because there's Pac-12 affiliations. This is the last year of it. Then you go to the Big 12 only affiliated games. So you can win this game and still go to like the Holiday Bowl, the LA Bowl, the
but-
Sun Bowl.
Yeah, but the Big 12 affiliated goals are something like the Pop Tart.
Oh my
Bowl or
God,
something. I'm
dude!
like, stop it.
My dream. I've never had a Pop-Tart a day in my life.
What?
But that's never a day in my life.
Dude,
We've
stop
been over.
it.
Never. I've never had one. They look
I
disgusting.
refuse to believe that.
They look
Yes.
gross. I'm telling you. Riley at one point brought a toaster into the old studio, and we were going to have one day, and then we lost. Remember that was the day the power went out, so we couldn't do it.
Dude,
I've never
what's
had a
your
problem. They look gross. They look disgusting. I want
Oh,
nothing to
stop
do with
it.
it. I
They're
don't.
delicious.
I don't like that. Never had one. But you know what? I want to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl. It's the best bowl out there with those stupid mascots running around and something. They cook one of them at the end, and the players are like licking it. It's the most amazing bowl game on the planet. And my dream is that ASU goes to that bowl game.
Well,
so
you
I
look
can
at
go
the
to it.
projections, guys, and it doesn't talk about a win or a loss, but basically U of A and ASU are either going to go the LA Bowl.
Yep.
Is that the Jimmy Kimmel thing?
Yeah, it used to be. I don't think it is anymore.
The Holiday Bowl, which okay,
But it's Snapdragon Stadium.
I don't really care.
It's a soccer stadium.
Yeah,
It's a
it
dinky
is.
soccer stadium.
Or the Sun Bowl.
Yeah.
And those are the three, no matter if you win or lose. And
Because of the Pac-12 designation.
and the reason that I have such a disdain
I love this
for
game.
El Paso
Well,
is because
besides it's El Paso.
and the Sun Bowl is my junior year. We were 10-1. We were ranked 5 or 6 in the country. Fiesta Bowl, Orange Bowl, talking about taking SMU. They both passed on us. We ended up in freaking El Paso for 5 days. We stayed at one of those. Oh my gosh, what's the name of it?
Holiday Inn?
It wasn't a Holiday Inn, but it had like free happy hour, and that was the highlight of our trip to El Paso. We got our butts beat by Alabama.
You didn't even want to be there.
And the topper of the whole story, after that whole week, we wake up the morning of the game, and I look out my window, and back then they used to have the old bank signs, the time and temperature. And go back over, and I look out, the window's all foggy, and I like What the heck's going? It's been 75 degrees all week.
Look, I've
A northern blew in, Bruce.
Look.
It never got above 31 degrees for
Yeah.
the rest of the day.
Hey, look! I have spent time in El Paso for the Sun Bowl, covering ASU on New Year's Eve, and yeah, Dale, it's not a lot to look forward to for sure. I mean, look, there was a trip. I believe we went to. Maybe it was Juarez, Mexico. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
right on
border.
the border. Yeah, it's on the side.
So you went there. So
It's not safe
we did a story on a lot of the players being fitted for some custom cowboy boots
Yep.
over there and stuff
Yep.
like that. And so that was really the highlight of our trip.
Yeah.
You got to go to White Sands. You got to go to that big cave that you can go hike through. And
God.
that's what I did when ASU played Florida State. It was the last time they were in the Sun Bowl. And that's when I tore my Achilles. So what was that, 2021 time frame? So I had a scooter. Getting around that stadium, we had to they made me drop the scooter off at this one place because they wouldn't let me take in the stands. And I had to walk half a mile. Because they wouldn't let me take my foot scooter.
Jeez.
The deal. It was horrible. But we did all the cave and White Sands and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm
not
saying-
even in El Paso.
But this is the last year of those Pac-12 affiliations. It goes
goodness.
their way after this year. So, but yeah, 2014 was the last time Arizona State and Arizona had winning records, ending the end of season game here. Who won the game that year, fellas?
2014, ASU had to.
Nope. U of A won it
Rats.
42-35. So is that an omen for this weekend? Before we get into this game, really quick, Kenny Dillingham's been doing a lot of talking since Sam Levitt went down, and he's possibly leaving about the transfer portal, etc. Was asked about it this week. I think this was yesterday. Transfer portal starts January 2nd. If you don't know, there are already, Dale, 7,000 kids in the portal. It's not officially in the portal, but are designated to go in there. There's not enough spaces for these kids to move around,
No,
right?
and that's the thing. I think some kids just put their name in the portal, see if they get any interest.
See if they get anything, and then they can pull it out and go back to the school. Kenny Dillingham specifically talked about the expectations. So last year they lost nobody, none of the two deep guys. Here's his expectation for this year on the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot. I think for me, it's always about we want dudes who want to be at ASU. And I've said that before. I feel like we're in a good spot to be able to get that accomplished. The guys who truly want to be here, the guys that are all in on being at ASU, the guys who believe we can help them achieve what they want to achieve and believe this is the best place for them and that we're going to take care of them, I think we're going to have a really, really good chance to keep those guys here. And then I think we're going to have the ability to go attract a lot of really good players as well. I mean, when you're selling out crowds, when you have investment from the school, and when you have some of these things, I think it positions us really, really well to be, a destination for some of these guys.
I think he might be overly optimistic. I mean, there are some freshmen who came in who were highly regarded, who really are being redshirted and not even used so much. And I know that they're given
and they're
4
a senior
games.
laden team, by the way.
Yeah, and they're given 4 games to to play without compromising their status or eligibility status there. But Arizona State's not even utilizing those freshmen in those spots and whatever. And could it be because ASU, every game they play is close, right down to the wire? That's a possibility. But you open the door for someone to leave when they just don't.
And this is different than last year. Last year they were a younger team. Now most of their defense is leaving. Their top 2 guys on the defensive side, most of them are graduating and moving on.
Yeah.
So you have to replace all those guys on top. But he is right on this, though. They're going to have a ton of interest from kids. ASU is one of those programs where kids are going to be fighting each other to get here.
Yeah, but you don't want to be like Bobby Hurley over at ASU where you're bringing in too many new faces because you're trying to reestablish a culture that you've already
Well, I get that, but
set.
I have more faith in Kenny Dillingham to bring in the right kids in that coaching staff than I do Bobby Hurley.
Here's the deal. The most important player that could potentially leave is Sam Levitt.
Yes.
And I really, I don't have any intel on this, but I do believe the reports that I've heard, because here's the deal. There are going to be some schools out there be it the SEC, be it the Big Ten, or maybe even I've heard Texas Tech again over in the Big 12.
Miami, they need a quarterback. Their quarterback's good, but Miami's going to need a quarterback. Ian Beck's gone this year,
right? And they're going to pay more than ASU, so his brother, who also doubles as his agent, I'm sure, and I believe the reports. I think he's shopping for the highest bidder because look, he's going to say, look, we got one more year before we go to the league.
That's
why not maximize our bank account for that year?
I would even argue if I was in Sam Levitt's camp, and I know I think differently than athletes do, so Dale's going to laugh at me about this, but I believe Sam Levitt, ASU believed Sam Levitt was leaving this year, but they thought he was going pro because he was going to be good enough.
Yeah.
So they're ready to move on from him, and they're prepared to move on from him from that perspective. I believe Sam Levitt, with this year, realizes that he's dropped out and can't go pro right now.
Absolutely.
So the thought process, if I was Sam Levitt, would be, let's maximize the revenue because we don't know where we're going to be in the NFL next year. Then we go to the NFL, I'm only making my rookie salary of $1 million a year if I get drafted at all. And all that stuff. So
if he's drafted in the first round, he'll be.
Yeah, but hold on.
He's got to get there again.
How's he going to get drafted in the first round unless he puts something on tape?
He's going to have to.
That's what I'm getting at. So you don't know if he's going to rebound next year, going to a Georgia or Miami, going to a high-level team. He was a nobody coming out of Michigan State with no expectations when he came here. And Kenny Dillingham and this staff got him to this level now, and now he's fallen off with this injury. There's no guarantee. So I believe if I was Sam Levitt, let's hedge this bet a little bit.
Well, let's
go make $6-7 million.
Here's where I believe that they're going, and again, just my best guesstimate, because just based on what I've read and heard about him moving on, and you don't know, even if you return to ASU, you don't know where you're going to be drafted.
Right.
So if we don't know where we're going to be drafted at ASU, or if we go to Miami, we still don't know. Florida State. But Miami and Florida State, they're going to pay us $7 million versus $3 million here at ASU. Okay. Let's take that $7 million.
That's what I'm saying.
No doubt.
That's what I'm saying. So if I don't get drafted and I try to make it in the pros, or even if I'm a late draft pick, we've made our money. We can live off of that the rest of our lives at $7 million. Because if you can't live off $7 million for the rest of your life, you're just overspending at that point. But that's my argument on why it's going.
I can definitely see that. And while I think ASU is pretty well positioned, I think that things are a lot of good things going on in Tempe. But they're still not offering a kid $7 million. I had a conversation with a guy. He'll remain anonymous last night at the gym. I was at the gym pumping some iron coop. And
the old gym sources that Dale has here.
And he has a son who plays college football for a Big 12 team. He's kind of dinged up right now, has been dinged up, but he's already got an offer to make $500,000 next year. It'll be his 6th year, so thankfully that whole COVID nonsense is over with. I think this is the final year that any of those people that season didn't count and all that.
But it's going to change with the.
But we're talking an offensive lineman being offered $500,000 to play college football. Oh, Coop. I was born 35 years too early.
Does this kid go to TCU? Is the big question here, Coop. Is Dale working out with a TCU person? Is what I got to ask Coop. In all seriousness, no, I mean it's crazy what's going on. But I also, me and Dale talked about this. I think there is a possibility that ASU's also looking at Sam Levitt like, hey, we're not going to pay you more. You're welcome to come back. We'd love to have you here, but we have money that needs to go to other kids right now. And because they were prepared to move on from him because he was going to be.
Did you have to be prepared, Coop, coming into this season that he was leaving?
Yeah.
You thought for the NFL.
Yeah. So ASU's telling him we're fine with you leaving.
Look, they have Cam Dwyer from
New
Mexico, and Jack Fetty from UTEP that they are looking at to come in and compete.
Did you see Kenny Dillingham talking to that Colorado quarterback on Saturday night after the game?
Oh, I did. Julian Lewis.
He was in his ear.
Yeah,
everybody's like, it's 65 in Tempe right now.
You know what? Yeah. Hey, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. Hey, that kid can sling it.
Well, I mean, there's one thing
really
about
can.
this Kenny Dillingham and his staff. One, if you're a running back in college, you got to look at Arizona State. What Aguano is doing as a running backs coach, Sun Devil Stores kind of blew that up again. But I mean, it's been known that what he's doing with his running game and these running backs, with their explosions and getting to the pros, is amazing to see with him as a running backs coach. This was an interim head coach at ASU that we weren't sure was going to be back with the program after that, right? And then on top of that, you've got to have faith that ASU is going to, whatever quarterback comes in and quarterbacks come in, they're going to come in and have success. And partly because of Sam Levitt, but I'll even give it more credit to what Jeff Sims looks like with his struggles, but what he's able to do. Because Jeff Sims struggled like he did in the first half at Nebraska, and they couldn't do anything to fix him, and they ran him out of town. Whereas ASU was able to overcome it, fix it, and make him look good while he's struggling out there.
Yeah,
and
but
that gives you the faith.
But look, I'm still nervous because Jeff Sims is a quarterback
I'm not
for,
saying
for
don't
the
be.
Territorial Cup. Look. I think,
I'm not saying don't be.
I think he's a terrific athlete who runs better than he passes.
Yeah.
And ASU needs to pass the ball to be able to beat the University of Arizona. And that's one thing that Noah Fafita is back doing again this year. I mean, he's throwing the ball around to a myriad of receivers, and so so when he's so prolific throwing the ball again that it doesn't matter who U of A puts in the backfield running. They're really producing a very good running attack as well. So they're very balanced. ASU needs to score, and if Arizona State is only running the ball with Raleek Brown or with Jeff Sims, that's not enough. They are, and so I'm nervous. But if he is on and he's on target, I like ASU's chances. But that's a big. But again, we're talking about if. So I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie, Dale.
Coop,
I'm nervous.
I like my filet. I like it medium.
Where was this dinner at?
Steak 44.
Steak 44.
I drove
Might as well
I
pick
drove by there
something.
yesterday.
He owes me 10 steak dinners anyway. I never got any of them. I have a feeling I'll settle for Burger King.
I mean, going into this game on Friday. One, the game goes back to Friday finally, which I think that's where it deserves to be instead of Saturday. But I agree with you. Arizona's a scary team right now, but I'm not afraid. Arizona State's defense, I think, is going to have some success against Arizona's offense. I do not have faith in Brennan that he's going to be able to, and that offensive staff, figure it out. Now you got the defensive coordinator, used to coach up here at Arizona State, kind of got a little bit of an anger towards that, right? Gonzalez. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I think this game does come down to which offense performs better.
And give me Fafita or give me death.
Really?
Look. Noah. I'm not gonna lie. He's playing well, and he's being very elusive in the pocket when you bring pressure. He's able to get outside, and he's throwing extremely well on the run. And so, and his receivers. A new crop of receivers.
Yeah.
They have learned that little scramble drill. They come back to the ball, and they have people who go over the top of it. They give him a number of options on the run, and he's been very accurate. And like I said, his accuracy throwing the ball has opened up their running game. And so they're a very balanced team and a team that can put some points on the board. But yeah, I do like ASU's defense better than I do U of A's. But
U of A is coming in confident. That's the other, super confident. They're the way they've been winning. They went to Cincinnati, beat Baylor, which Baylor's a good Big 12 team. Probably similar talent between the two, and Arizona was able to win that last weekend. But these are very similar teams right now with the injuries, and that's dangerous because Arizona can do it. 4.6 opponents' yards rushing per game is all Arizona's defense is giving up right now. 4.6.
Yeah.
What's got to give?
Well, look, I'll tell you what. You mentioned Danny Gonzalez doing a good job as a DC there, but hats off to Brent Brennan. I mean, I think after last year, he was definitely coming in on the hot seat. I'm like, man, they're not giving him any time.
A whole lot of time,
But he's really turned it around. And
all he's doing, and this is my favorite part of what Brent Brennan's doing, because I'm not a fan of him as a head coach. Has he improved over last year? Yes, but to me, he's Dirk Cutter. Meaning he's really, really good at the lower tiers, which he wasn't even good at San Jose State, I might add. But, he's probably better at those tiers, and you step up and you kind of get beat in a little bit. So I think all he's doing is with the schedule of Arizona this year is he's setting Arizona up for these really high expectations for next year.
You guys keep trying to talk yourselves in.
Boom, next year.
He took the layoff, and look at him coaching his tail off.
So you got Arizona, Dale?
I got Arizona.
I've got ASU just because I can't pick Arizona to save my life.
Yeah, I'm ASU for obvious reasons. I'm a graduate. I'm an alumnus of a school and proud of it. And so, but I do want to be on record. I'm very nervous, Dale. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't disagree. This is a closer game than anybody thought it would be coming up this weekend. But I'll say this: if Arizona State loses this game, it's going to be because of something Arizona State does, not what Arizona does.
Well, here's the deal. I've been lamenting all year the fact that ASU lost the home game to Houston. Yeah. Otherwise, they would be right there to return to
they would still need BYU. They would have still needed BYU or Texas Tech to lose, but they would be closer.
But here, with the one conference loss for 3 teams, they would lose.
Yeah, because of the tiebreakers. Oh no, because they beat Texas Tech. I'm sorry, you're wrong. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot they beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. Yeah. I've seen this script too many times. When you need to beat U of A to get to a Rose Bowl, U of A wins. So if I needed to beat U of A to get to the Big 12 title game, I just feel that something would have happened. I mean, I've seen that script before. So now all of a sudden, I'm not so upset about that Houston loss because now if I lost to U of A, it wouldn't be as painful.
I didn't even think about that. That kind of scares me a little bit. So, well, let's wrap it up, Coop. Go do your Turkey Day thing.
All
everybody
right.
Come join Coop out there as well.
Come join me out there. See you out there, everybody.
Absolutely. Higley and Elliott, right?
Higley and Elliott.
Well, if I'm not in jail,
store.
I'll try to stop by. We'll see how that goes later on. Till 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, I'll be there from 12:30 to 7.
All right, perfect. 7. Okay, perfect. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week after the Territorial Cup, and we all survived Thanksgiving as well. So tomorrow
I just want to know, is it going to be a gift certificate so I don't have to go eat with you, or are we going to go together?
We'd have to go together.
Okay.
We got Lou tomorrow, opening in the show with Lou tomorrow, all NFL talk with obviously the Thanksgiving holiday. And Coach Sheehan's going to join me. Dale takes off tomorrow. He's got to go do some judging over there at KUPD and everything. So Coach Sheehan is going to join me, maybe with a couple special guests as well after that. So come and join us yet tomorrow as well, folks. And see you then, everybody.